With the Cold War raging and Soviet Union's space technology beating America's in just about every appreciable way, American intelligence agencies were working overtime to monitor and decipher data spilling out of Soviet rockets as they poured into the sky. In 1959, the Soviet Union decided to leverage their recent technological victories for a little PR, choosing a number of technologies that represented the very cutting edge of Soviet advances for a traveling exhibit. Included with them was the Luna satellite, which was the first human-made object to touch the moon on 13th September 1959. The CIA naturally was interested in the Luna probes. It was a daring bit of espionage in the early years of the space race. The CIA figured the Soviets weren't crazy enough to send a real Luna overseas, but they decided to take a peek anyway at an exhibition in one of the cities. One night, after the traveling exhibition was closed, CIA operatives gained access to the room where the Luna was on display. They were surprised to discover that it was indeed a real Luna, minus its engine and electrical components. The CIA spent a full 24 hours with the Luna, taking what information they could with them. But they wanted more. They wanted to get inside of it. The exhibition moved to yet another city. One source says it was in Mexico. Eager to get another look, the CIA sent its industrial experts on an undisclosed night in 1959 or 1960 on another black operation to photograph the craft's equipment markings, which they hoped would divulge clues about Soviet space production. Unfortunately, the satellite had a 24-hour Soviet guard. So much for breaking into the exhibit again. The US spies discovered that after the show, the Luna would be transported by a truck to a railroad station and then onto the next city. That's when they concocted a complex, almost absurd scheme that would have been stupid if it hadn't worked. They hatched a plan to steal Luna, get into it, and return the device before it could be found. The CIA arranged for the Luna to be on the last truck leaving the exhibition that night. After making sure that Soviet guards weren't escorting the vehicle, quote, the truck was stopped at the last possible turnoff. A canvas was thrown over the crate, and a new driver took over. What happened to the original truck driver? The CIA history only says that he was escorted to a hotel room and kept there for the night. How he was detained isn't clear, but it wouldn't be surprised if money, liquor, or prostitutes were involved. Now, the CIA technicians got to work. Standing on ladders, they broke into the 14-foot-high crate, partially disassembled the spacecraft, including removing 130 bolts from a hatch to the engine compartment, and photographed the insides. In a short time, the agents copied down all relevant data from the engine compartment, nose section, and even the payload basket, while taking detailed photos of the same. A roll of film was developed inside one of the cars to make sure that all photo equipment had worked properly. By then, the replacement seal had arrived, and the agents got the whole thing put back together inside the crate. A little after 4 a.m., the original driver was sent back to his truck, and he delivered it to the rail yard, where no Soviets were present. When the rail checker arrived at 7 a.m., he saw the waiting truck and had the Luna loaded on the train. Could this secret mission have been the turning point in the moon race? Maybe. As far as the CIA could tell, the Soviets were none the wiser. But the fact is that the US quickly took the lead and went on to win the space race. The Apollo 11 was the first crewed mission to land on the moon on 20th of July, 1969.